Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic. What moment made you say yep, I'm definitely dead, but survived with no major injuries? Insane car crash. Sitting stopped at a red light and a woman not watching the road at all, texting, hit me at highway speeds. I was pushed into the crossing traffic that somehow all dodged me. Someone ran up to the car and first question was, "Oh my god, you're alive?" And I answered honestly, I'm not sure. I couldn't open my door but climbed out the window. The entire back of the car was collapsed in. Car crash here as well. I was 15, driver was 16 with a learner's permit. I got into the shotgun seat and my friend started kicking the back and complaining that I always get shotgun. Normally I would have told him to go fuck himself cause I called it fairly, but that time I was like, okay, you got it. We went speeding down a twisty country road, it started to rain, car hydroplaned down a hill, flipped once or twice and hit a tree. When I opened my eyes I saw half the front seat had been knocked into the back, along with my friend. Blood everywhere. Driver was fine, I had a concussion, shotgun passenger had brain trauma and was never the same. Edit, this was in Texas. The driver never fully took responsibility for his actions or apologized. No, it's not legal for a learner to drive without a licensed person in the car. My injured friend had after effects like seizures for a year, then appeared to be fully healed. But as he got older his personality completely changed, in a really radical way, he became very antisocial and difficult. No way we could be sure, but all of us attributed it to the accident. Glad you dodged a bullet, but sorry for your friends. If only we could all go back and make better choices. Hug. Car crash here as well. I was 16 with a friend in a Jeep with no top. A lady slammed into the back of us while missing the stop sign. She was in some large SUV tank. I went through the windshield. Driver got his seat crushed into him. We both survived. I don't know how 25 years later. I had major reconstructive surgery on my face and feet, and had a chin implant put in, along with a wired jaw. Even my ears were in bad shape. Believe it or not, the plastic surgeon was on call that night, and what this man did for me cosmetically was just a miracle. I know we all say, well, you are alive, but his skills and talent were just amazing. To this day, I have minimal scars that I can cover with makeup very easily, and my feet are what they are, just scarred a tad. The driver shattered his arm, that was it. So thankful we are alive. I am glad you are alive also. I am sorry for your friend. My sister was hit by a red light runner and her car was so bad that one of the EMTs told her when they first saw it they thought, oh man, someone died. Yeah, that's what the tow truck guys said to me too about my wreck. I'm glad she was okay. Textaholics should be charged as DUI. If I knew I had a terminal disease and 30 days to live, I would drive around and force feed people's phones down their throats if I caught them texting while driving. Been hit a few times by those idiots. One even drove me into a guardrail while I was on a motorcycle. This is my biggest fear on my motorcycle. I feel like I constantly see people texting and holding their phones while driving in my car, and I know for a fact they are all distracted. Once as a kid I was in the backyard swimming while my family was nearby eating dinner at a round table. Most had their backs to me, but I was like 11 and an experienced swimmer. I got into a toddler's float with leg holes. It ended up flipping over and I was stuck in it. My legs wouldn't come out of the leg holes. I kicked and thrashed as much as I could, but I was so stuck. And you can't hear someone screaming underwater. So many thoughts ran through my head, mostly how sad I was that my parents were about to find me dead in a matter of minutes, and how they'd never forgive themselves for allowing me to silently drown as they talked with friends. I tried one more time to kick with all of my might. One leg slipped out and I was able to get the other out after. I was fine. Totally fucking spooked, but physically okay. Did you tell them what happened? I have a similar story. I was single-digit age and for some reason I removed my life jacket while on our family's boat with my parents. I was attempting to sit on the little board that sticks off the back for climbing onto when I toppled off into the water. I was still in swimming classes at the time and couldn't do much but doggy paddle. I was bobbing up and down in the water and I couldn't get enough air to scream in between coming up for air. I was little and got panicked and tired really quickly and began to sink, one surfacing at a time, until I couldn't surface anymore and realized it completely. I thought about my parents on the boat who didn't know I was gone and wondered when they'd realize I was missing and if they'd find me. A big grey fish swam by and I saw my mom dive in just as everything went dark. I woke up on the boat in a towel. I ran out of the pool and told them, but I feel like they didn't take me all that seriously since I was just a kid talking a mile a minute. They probably thought I was being dramatic. Near drowning experiences are absolutely horrifying. I'm sorry that happened to you. I think what's scariest is that I had been swimming since the age of 4. My parents thought I was safe. They did all the right things. But I was still a kid that did a stupid thing and my swimming skills didn't make a difference here. I just remember feeling so hopeless, and in these situations 30 seconds feels like an eternity. You can never be too careful. I have kids, a pool in my backyard and ocean a bit further past it, also a boat. We do all the safety. No cheating either. The pool barrier is always up even though it looks so much better down. The doors are always set to alarm mode so if any kid opens a door we all know it. These things are inconvenient but I like my kids more than convenience. On the boat the kids wear the jackets 100% of the time unless we're parked on the beach. This also includes dock time. If we're on the dock in the boat the vests are on. This is not negotiable. Glad you ended up safe. I was driving home from college on one of those highways with only one lane in either direction and no shoulder. A guy in the oncoming lane didn't see me as I was in a small car. He thought he could pass 4 18-wheelers in one go and pulled into my lane going at least 90. There was nowhere for me to go. He flew off into the ditch to avoid hitting me head-on, likely did severe damage to his car, but I lived. For me this is the scariest possible thing about driving. I can drive as well as I like, I can be as cautious as I want, I can go as slow as I want. Some idiot could still come flying out onto my side of the road going the wrong way and wipe me out, just like that. Happened to a family near where I grew up a couple years back. Some dude got messed up on drugs or something and started driving the wrong way down a highway just like this. He hit the family head-on and they all died. He lived, though, as far as I can remember. Edit. Thank you for those of you sharing your stories and experiences with this. It's truly astonishing how much this happens. Those of you suggesting I might drive too cautiously or be living too afraid I don't and am not, don't worry. I advocate driving defensively and sensibly. Ensure your speed is appropriate for the conditions on the road. Been driving some years and been in 2 accidents myself, both zero fault on my side. Be sensible, and good luck on the roads to you. I was driving on a main road and I guess someone wanted to left turn onto a side street so much that they just pulled out of their lane and drove down the wrong side, did the road past several streets, speeding, coming directly for me, and I legit had nowhere to go because so many cars were parked in front of houses so I couldn't even pull over. I just stopped and held my breath until they turned left. It wouldn't have been the most high-impact crash, they were going like 45 in a 25, but fuck, it was scary how deliberate it was. Like they chose to drive the wrong way to find this side street. I was drunk and running in the woods when bam, barbed wire fence straight to the throat. The last thing I remember I couldn't breathe and was passing out and there was blood squirting from my neck. Woke up an hour later and walked home looking like a murder victim. My dad once took some barbed wire to the throat too. It happened before I was born and I can't remember all the details, but I do remember my mom recounting how he showed back up at the house with blood running down his body. Mom couldn't handle it and left the room. To be fair, she was only like 18 at the time. Thankfully, her mom was around and leapt in to help. It happened before I was born and I can't remember all the details. I know what you mean, but it almost sounds like you are saying that despite not having been born, you witnessed it but have forgotten some of the details. I did this playing capture the flag in the woods at dusk, ran full speed into a single barbed wire at stomach level and came to a complete, arms and legs forward, wrapped around it stop. Friends said it looked like God had just reached down and stopped me. Was terrified to lift my shirt and look, I was convinced I was disemboweled. Turns out all I had was one shallow puncture wound and an angry red line across my stomach. And a bruise from hell the next day. Boyfriend finally woke me up shortly after we had fallen asleep in a small upstairs bedroom that had a smoldering fire. After we collapsed on the floor and couldn't find the door that was not even 5 feet away, we kept hitting walls and corners and started to not comprehend anything. After feeling like I was baking in an oven, I laid my head down on the floor thinking I'd never see my son again and how sad it was to die. It felt like eternity and felt very lonely. My boyfriend somehow found his phone on the floor, called 911. Fire department showed up in what felt like 2 seconds but couldn't break down the front door. They shined the flashlight up to window so he could kick out the account unit, which he did. They finally came upstairs and we crawled to them and they took us straight to the burn unit since they didn't know what shape we were in. I'm pretty sure the entire hospital toured through our room since they've never seen anyone make it out and look the way we did. Edit, holy smokes, I appreciate the love from everyone. I could read and reply all night. I'd totally do a nomalol. I can't wait for my partner to get home so I can show him this. Thanks guys. The photo is crazy. Well. Joke's on you, they set that fire to cover up their shameful use of blackface. Wow, you both got that holy fuck we're alive LMAO grin on. Pretty much looks like a Looney Tunes bomb went off in your faces. Glad to see that you're here to write this up. As a firefighter, I'm amazed you made it out alive / without serious respiratory issues. That's amazing. That amount of smoke / heat without suffering smoke inhalation seems almost not plausible. Congrats on making it. I have so much goddamn love for you guys now, it's unreal. Thanks for what you do. The firefighters that got us out didn't even make it onto the floor we were on because you couldn't see anything. The smoke came down to the floor below us and left everything completely black.